Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, and on today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some fun fall and Thanksgiving activities that you can do with your kiddos. Plus I'm going to be sharing with you a great resource to help you teach your little ones to read. So stay tuned. Well, if you are new, welcome to my channel, Pursuing Peace. My name is Dina and I am a homeschooling mama of 5 kiddos, 6 and under, and I'm a little bit sad because this video is the last time I'm going to be able to say 6 and under. My oldest is celebrating her 7th birthday this week, and so anyway, but on this channel I share my passions for Christ, for homeschooling, and for encouraging mamas in their faith and in this crazy but completely amazing season of motherhood. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, then click the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to click the little bell icon so you know whenever new videos pop up. You can also follow us over on Instagram at Dina_Pursuing Peace if you'd like to get an inside glimpse on what goes on around here on a daily basis. So before we get into all the fall festivities, I want to share with you this resource that I was talking about that'll help teach your child to read, and it is called Reading Eggs. So Reading Eggs is an app for kids ranging from 3 years old, although my 2-year-old is using it, so about 2 or 3 years old, all the way up to, I think it's about age 7. I'll let you know if I got that wrong. But it's been so great for my kids. I do allow them to use a little bit of technology throughout the day, and we call it tablet time. While I am doing one-on-one time with each of my kids, the other kids can take turns playing on Reading Eggs. And you can use Reading Eggs on a desktop, on a tablet, on your phone, and it's super easy to use. It's very user-friendly, and it just helps to solidify the things that you are teaching your kids, like phonics, learning how to read, and for the little ones, like matching and sorting and letter sounds. And so I love this because I'm able to use it with all of my kids, from my 6-year-old down all the way to my 2-year-old, and I can have profiles for each of my kids, and so it keeps track of where they're at within the Reading Egg lessons. So when you first log into the app, what it does is it gives your child a reading assessment, and so that way it can place your child where he or she needs to be within the Reading Eggs lessons. And I love that because then I could really see what my children were able to read and what they weren't. And I'm going to be completely honest, one of my kids is having just a little bit of trouble reading, and so that's one of the big reasons I decided to go with Reading Eggs and try it out, just to kind of have that reading practice, but in a non-frustrating and really enjoyable way. My oldest 2 has lessons assigned to them, but then they can also go and just explore, and there's so much in there. They have fun educational videos. They have help with spelling, which also has an assessment test. For the little kids, like I said, they had color matching and letter recognition and puzzles and just so much on the Reading Eggs app. And so if you'd like to check it out and you'd like to see if it's a good fit for your family, then I have a link down in the description box below where you can go and check it out, and you can get a free trial for 30 days and see if it's something that will work for your family. So I just want to thank Reading Eggs so much for sponsoring this video and for partnering up with me to show you guys what an amazing resource this is. Okay, now to get to the fun fall and Thanksgiving activities that I was telling you about at the beginning of this video. So fall is one of my favorite seasons. It's not my absolute favorite season. My absolute favorite season is winter, actually. I really like it. I've only ever lived in the southern region of the United States, so I've never really lived in a cold winter climate. So I have to give that caveat because I don't really know what true winter is, but I hate being hot, and so I really like wintertime. But fall is my second favorite holiday because it means that we are moving into winter, which I absolutely love. And I just love all of the colors and the smells of fall, and it just means we are able to go outside again, because usually in our summertime it's super hot. So fall means we are able to go outside and explore, and it's just an amazing time. And so I wanted to share some of our favorite activities that we have done so far this year, and what activities we are planning on doing for the Thanksgiving holiday. So the first activity I want to share with you guys, and these are in no particular order, but the first one that I want to share with y'all is going to the pumpkin patch. And hopefully by the time this video comes out, you will still have time to go to the pumpkin patch, but this is one of my favorite activities to do with the kids. I look forward to it every year, and my kids look forward to picking out pumpkins and just all the different fun activities that you have at the pumpkin patch. For instance, this year we went to one that was so good. They had a corn maze, and of course they had the pumpkins that you can pick. They actually had food, which was amazing. They had a pulled pork sandwich and cheeseburgers and hot dogs and pickles and all kinds of stuff that you can get there. So we were able to just sit and have lunch. They had picnic tables. Oh, it was so nice. The weather was perfect. They had a petting zoo, and I think probably my kids' favorite activity was a corn pit. And so basically it was just dried corn in a large pit, and then they had toys and even a slide. And my kids could go in there. They took off their shoes and they could go in there and just play, and oh my gosh, they wanted to stay in there the whole time. They said if we came back to that pumpkin patch that they wanted to do that for the rest of the day. I know every pumpkin patch is different depending on, where you live. And we have done everything from just a pumpkin patch where, you just go and pick a pumpkin and it's just kind of a fun family outing, to something like this where it's just a little bit more involved and we can make a day of it. And so if you haven't been to the pumpkin patch this year, then I highly encourage you to do it. It's always such a fun family time. The next kind of activity, I guess you can call this an activity, that I want to share with you is just cooking something that is very fall. So this year I tried an apple crisp recipe from my friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt. And she has a video showing you how to make not only the apple crisp, but there was something else like a chicken dish in your crock pot. And so I will link that video down below so you can check that out. Megan is so wonderful, and she's always coming out with so many recipes and little things like that. And so if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely go and check that out. But so I tried my hand on this apple crisp. I am not a cook, you guys. I don't have these amazing recipes. I don't naturally know, what to put into different things. And so the fact that I even tried this was huge for me. And one of the best things about it is that it's in the crock pot. So it's not very hard at all. And so I made it, and my kids just loved it. It was so good. It's very cinnamony, and it's just appley deliciousness, and they gobbled it up that same day. It was all gone. And so it's so fun just to try new recipes, especially different seasonal recipes. So again, I will leave Megan's video down below so you can check that out. The next thing I wanted to share with you guys is this from The Good and the Beautiful. It is their nature notebook, and I grabbed this up when they were giving away a free download. At the beginning of all of this pandemic stuff, they were so gracious, and they realized that a lot of things were being canceled except going outside. And so they made their nature notebook available for free download to anybody and everybody. Oh, and I just love that. Just the heart of their company is just so good. And so I grabbed that up. And so in the nature notebook, they have the different seasons. So what I did is I just printed out fall, and then I just used whatever we could use. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this section for fall that you can print out if you get the PDF version, or you can get it printed for you and sent to you. But it just has so many different fall related activities where your kids can go in in and journal. Now my kids can't write very much yet, but they can draw. So we did all of the activities where the kids can draw. So we made like leaf animals where we glued or we taped leaves of different shapes and sizes to make animals. There's fall bingo, and just a place for them to answer questions about fall and then to make a space more beautiful. I really, really love that. Asking questions in fall. And then there's even a fall nature walk hunt, which I do still want to do at some point before fall ends. And then this last page in the section is draw your favorite thing you saw, heard, or felt on your walk. And so what we did is we went outside and we went for a walk. We were so blessed. We have a huge field right behind our house. And so the kids could just go and run around. We have kind of trees kind of along the back that, you know, if we wanted to have kind of a forest adventure, we could go back there and do that. But what we did is we went out and we just collected all kinds of leaves, all different colors and shapes. They were able to chase butterflies, and it was just such a fun time to be outside with them. It was a gorgeous day. So our kids had fun, and we were able to take our dog out there with us, and so he had fun too, just running around with us. So the activities that we used in this nature notebook is the leaf animal activity, where we glued or taped leaves of different shapes and sizes to make animals. So Abby, my oldest, made our dog Jack that you saw. Solomon made a lion. Aubrey made a puppy, like you could see the face of the puppy and the ears with the glue. And then Adeline made, she said she made a snake. And I mean, you can kind of see it, you know, a little bit, if you kind of look closely under the right lighting, you can kind of see the snake. But I mean, the point is that they just had so much fun. So we did the leaf animals, and then we also did fall leaves, where they picked their favorite fall leaf and they glued it or taped it to the sheet. And then another thing that we did is our fall bingo. And it says to try to fill an entire row vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, but I think the kids just did the whole sheet. Some things we couldn't find, so we just kind of replaced it with other things. But they just had so much fun just kind of looking around. Even my 2-year-old was trying to draw things, and she just looked so cute with her little clipboard and her pencil, and it was just so much fun getting to kind of explore our backyard and then getting to explore the field in the back of our house. So this nature book from The Good and the Beautiful is a great resource. You can always download it. And so what I was able to do is just print out the pages that we used. And so then I don't have just kind of this whole book that, you know, most of the pages we cannot use because a lot of it is writing stuff out. But I wanted those, you know, that bingo and the leaf gluing and all of that stuff. I wanted all of that. And they have sections like that for every season. So every season you can go and pick out what pages you want to do out of the nature notebook and just have a fun day with your kids. The next fun fall activity I want to share with you is sensory bins. So since we went to the pumpkin patch, it got my wheels turning, I think is the right way to say that. And so I went to Walmart and got a huge bin, kind of like one of those under the bed type of bins. And we got deer corn. So that's what they used at the pumpkin patch. So it's this 50-pound bag of deer corn. And I filled up the bin and put just like buckets in there and different things that they can scoop the corn with, and just let them play. And they loved it. My kids love sensory bins. I just haven't really used them because it is a little bit of cleanup afterwards. But I wanted to make this a special activity for them, and they loved it. They stayed there for, gosh, like an hour just playing with this corn, and cleanup wasn't too bad, but it's definitely something that we would probably bring out maybe once a week, if that. But it was just so much fun to watch them, and we just made a fall bin. And I would like to make like seasonal sensory bins. I think doing it once a month maybe for me would be too much. So maybe doing it by season. So the next one would be maybe a Christmas bin for winter time, or just kind of a winter bin in general. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But sensory bins are so much fun. The next thing I want to share with you are crafts from the Creative Arts and Crafts projects from the Good and the Beautiful. Now there are different crafts in here that go with the different seasons or the different holidays also. And so what I picked was painting the leaves. So we just painted leaves. We talked about, so what color leaves did we see outside when we went outside, and then they painted them those colors, or they just painted them rainbow colors. Like, it really doesn't matter, but that's just a fun kind of fall activity. It already has the pages in there for you, so all you have to do is make copies and then give the kids, you know, paint or watercolors, or it doesn't even have to be paint. It could be crayon or whatever you want to give the kids, but it's just kind of a fun fall activities. We talked about the changes in the seasons and what happens when the leaves fall down, you know, so it's just a very good conversation starter. And there are just so many activities in this Creative Arts and Crafts book from the Good and the Beautiful. There's a pumpkin treat bag one that I think is a little bit too advanced for my little ones at this point, but it's super fun. There's a changing trees one, which we still might do this year, where they kind of paint and color and stick different things onto a tree that changes as the seasons go, and they give you the template for it and everything. It's just a great resource. You know, it's kind of like Pinterest in a book. It's just so good. Okay, so those were the fun fall activities, and those you can do, you know, anywhere in the months of September, October, November, depending on where you live. So then these next things that I want to share with you are specific to Thanksgiving. The first thing I want to share with you is some read alouds that you can do with your kids around the Thanksgiving holiday. And these books are fairly new to us. They come with the Early American History from Beautiful Feet Books, and they are just such good books that I wanted to share with you. And I think these are books that I'm going to read to my kids every year around Thanksgiving because they're just so good. The first one I wanted to share with you was The Pilgrim Stories by Margaret Pumphrey. So this book starts with the Pilgrims in England, and it talks about, you know, just the different persecution type things that they had to go through when they were there, and why they decided to leave England and go to the New World. But before they went to the New World, they actually went to Holland. I never even knew that. And so the Pilgrims were in Holland. It tells different stories of them being there, and their journey from going there, and then wanting to leave and go to the New World. And it's just so good. We did this as a read aloud during our lunchtime, and this book is actually on Audible also, so I was able to play it as an audiobook so I can eat too. And it was just so good, and my kids were very like, it kept their attention. I was a little bit iffy about this one just because it was kind of long and wordy, but it kept their attention, and each story was just so moving. It talks about them coming to the New World, and talks about their relationship with the Native Americans, and it talks about the first Thanksgiving in the book. And right before we read this, we learned about like Jamestown, and we learned about Christopher Columbus and Jamestown and everything kind of leading up to the Pilgrims coming over. And it was just so eye-opening to see the Pilgrims who came over because of their religion, not for riches or anything else, because they wanted to worship the Lord in the way that they thought they should. And so they came over, and it was just, it's interesting to see the stark like contrast between the way that they treated the Native Americans and their relationship with the Native Americans versus like Jamestown or Christopher Columbus. And it just like it brought me to tears, like just the two different worlds coming together and just loving each other and kind of not knowing what the other one was going to do, but because, you know, because they loved the Lord, they knew that these people weren't people who were beneath them. They knew that they needed to love these Indians also. And so because they loved the Lord, they were able to live in peace with these Indians, with these Native Americans. And it was just, it's just so moving and so touching. So this is definitely a great read around Thanksgiving time, but even, any time of the year, just to kind of show your kids how to treat people, even if you're scared of them, or even if you don't know anything about them, even if you don't know their language and they kind of look funny to you, just treating them with love and respect and with the love of the Lord. Like, that is what I loved about this book. The next book that I want to share with you is kind of going into the same thing, but it's Squanto's Journey. The story of the first Thanksgiving. And so this one is a picture book, and it talks about Squanto and his journey and how he was taken by the white man. Then he finally found his way home, and then he meets the Pilgrims, and he's able to translate for the Pilgrims, and how they all just kind of lived in peace, like in Squanto's journey through life. And then it talks about the first Thanksgiving. So both of these books are just so good to teach your kids about Thanksgiving and how it's not just about turkeys and football and delicious meals, although none of those things are bad and the meal is very, very delicious. But it's not about that there is a very real story behind Thanksgiving, and that a lot of it centers around the faith of these pilgrims. And so I wanted to share these books with you guys, and I will leave them linked down below so you can get them if you want to. And then the last thing I want to share with you guys is this year we are going to make a Thanksgiving tree. And so while we were outside and we were collecting leaves and different things like that, we also collected some branches. And so I put them in a pot with rocks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up construction paper, like brown and orange and yellow and red construction paper. And each day or each week, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but we are going to write down what we are thankful for that day or that week. And then I'm going to hole punch it and put it up on one of the branches. And then we will have a Thanksgiving tree, and we will be able to see all of the things that we are so thankful for that the Lord has given us, and how blessed we are, even when we think maybe we're going through hard times, or maybe we don't really have exactly what we want, or our life doesn't look exactly how we want it to look. We can visually see, oh my goodness, we have so much to be thankful for. So that's an idea that I got on Pinterest, and I will link that pin down below. And we haven't started the Thanksgiving tree yet, but we're going to start it at the beginning of November. So if you'd like to see how all of that goes, then definitely go and follow me over on Instagram, because I'm going to post pictures and just different things that we are going to be doing for that Thanksgiving season. All right, you guys, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it sparked some ideas of things that you can do this year with your family. And let me know if you have any other fall fun activities or activities that surround Thanksgiving, then leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys do for Thanksgiving and for just fall in general. So if you'd like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know whenever new videos pop up. And you can also follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuingpeace. All right, you guys, well, I hope that you are having a blessed day, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye-bye. Hi y'all. Well, very first line, totally messed it up. So I'm just gonna okay, all the way up to something something, because I don't know. And so Abby, my oldest, made a mouse, a dragon. Oh, Jack. Okay. Got my brain wheels rolling. I guess that's how you say that. I don't know.